What's up, you guys? Sean Ross Sapp here for the Fightful.com Wrestling Podcast, February 13th edition. We are just 45 minutes away from Valentine's Day. I guess an hour 45 if you're in Alex's neck of the woods. A big Monday Night Raw to talk about. I had people, I was a little late getting to watch Raw, and I had people tweeting me saying, worst Raw ever. I have no clue what the hell they were talking about. Alex, you've already let your face be seen here with your mic adjustment.
Sorry.
How dare you?
I was trying to get it closer so people could hear me,
Yeah, that's overrated. What'd you think of the show tonight? Before I get into the plugs.
I agreed with those people until I stopped agreeing with those people. Yeah, I did. The first hour was abysmal, but it got better, but the first hour was awful.
I feel like I probably would have thought the same about the first hour, but I showed up at like 8:35 and fast forwarded through a lot of commercials and a lot of entrances.
Yeah.
So I didn't get that. So that could be the case. Either way, I'm coming at this with a pretty optimistic look. Guys, if you've never been to Fightful.com, go visit Fightful.com. You get the best in wrestling, MMA, and boxing podcasts, interviews, live coverage, exclusive news, photos, videos. Soon our forums will be coming back. We have discuss boards as well for you all to chat on during the live shows. You get coverage from all angles, whether it's journalists, wrestlers, fighters, even actors and businessmen, fans, anything. We got it all at Fightful.com. If you want to support Fightful, head over to ProWrestlingTees.com/Sean Ross Sapp and buy one of those beautiful Fightful t-shirts. We have them soft style, long sleeve, short sleeve, muscle tees. Got them all over there. Also, be sure to subscribe to us on iTunes, Stitcher, and YouTube. If you listen to us on iTunes and Stitcher, leave us a nice review. Send us the review. We'll follow you on the Twitter machine. Twitter, speaking of, Fightful Wrestle, Fightful MMA, at Fightful Online. A couple of the things you'll get over at Fightful.com. Exclusive podcasts with Shane Helms, Matt Riddle, and Elias Theodorou of the UFC. Register for free to get early access to those Helms and Riddle shows. They always have some good news coming out of some interesting news coming out of them. Once a month, I do a mailbag with both of them where they just answer any question that you want. That's really good stuff. Me and Shane Helms tackle a different topic each week, and Matt Riddle just does not care about who he pisses off on his way to the WWE. Not at all. Also, I want to encourage you guys to check out Jason Kincaid's articles. He is an Evolve wrestler who made some appearances for Ring of Honor. He did like a 5-part series for us. It's under our feature section. There should be a Pro Series section coming tomorrow, I think. But it's there. If you ever wondered what it was like to go through a WWE, or not a WWE tryout, a Ring of Honor tryout, check that out. That is unbelievable. Also, the mornings after Raw and SmackDown, I will post my notes from this podcast. And, of course, you get your news, your breaking news columns, Off the Tracks with A-Train. I love it when he does it himself. But, Alex, I think assigning you things is my favorite.
Making me report on the crazy news of the day. Yeah, that is good. At your whim, at your beck and call. Hey, monkey, be funny. It's fun.
It works.
Yeah, it's a good gig.
It works, man. Damn. So this Monday Night Raw, I was really happy to see a Chavo Classic graphic. I'll say that right off the bat. I wish they would have given a video package too.
Me too.
Especially considering some of the people they've given video packages to in the past.
Yep.
Now, I'm not that learned on Chavo Classic's long-term history in the sport, but they gave some video packages to some questionable people. In what may be a first in Monday Night Raw history, Stephanie McMahon and Roman Reigns opened the show, Alex.
Yeah, so unexpected. I did not see that one coming.
What was even more unexpected is Roman Reigns interrupted Stephanie McMahon.
I don't.
Exciting.
I guess they're trying to get Roman over by making Steph hate him. Okay, well, we all hate her, and whoever she hates, we like. So I guess we like Roman now.
Have you heard the story on Bruce Pritchard's podcast about Stephanie McMahon and the XFL?
Yeah, I did hear about that. The she had to go in and be the sideline announcer,
and everybody in the background's chanting "slut, slut, 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 slut." And I guess somebody in the headset's like, "What are they chanting?" Slut. Well, get the slut out of there. Well, the slut is the daughter of the owner of the league, so.
But you see, he was encouraging people on Raw at the time to chant that at her, and those are the same people who were at the XFL games. So you kind of made your bed, now you got to lie in it. Yeah.
The dialogue that these two had was very soap opera-ish, and sometimes I'm okay with that, but I'm not okay with that here. I didn't like it. It was really crappy and bad, especially when Anderson and Gallows come out, and by most standards, their dialogue wouldn't be too hot, but man, it was a lot better than what Roman Reigns and Stephanie McMahon had going for them.
Right.
Yeesh.
The thing that I found most galling about this was that Roman comes out and is like, I want Braun Strowman tonight. And then Stephanie has to do her thing where she teases being a babyface. Like, what do you say, Vegas? Do you want to see it tonight? And of course, everybody does. And then she says, but I'm not going to give it to them because
it's the dumbest thing ever.
I hate it. But then she says to Roman, see, you're injured from last week when Braun Strowman hurt you by, putting you through the barricade. So, because obviously you're hurt because you're limping so much. Oh, no, wait, you're not, because you don't do that. So I'm going to protect you by not having you wrestle Braun Strowman tonight. Then Gallows and Anderson come out and say, we want a handicap match with Roman Reigns. And she says, that's a great idea. Handicap match against two guys because I want to protect you because I said that 30 seconds ago. It's really bad and lazy. I don't like it.
Now, I'm glad that this had an inconclusive ending, like a DQ, because the tag champion should, except in maybe rare, very special occasions, defeat any one man. And I hate to use the term bury, but they really did bury an entire generation of tag teams doing this in the mid-2000s. Like, every week, Batista was kicking the living shit out of La Resistance while they were like tag champions or whoever were tag champions at the time. I remember one time he beat the shit out of them. He made like a mountain out of them and just stood on them. I was like, man, this tag division's rough.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how well protected they were, though. Even though they won by DQ, the only reason they won by DQ is because they just wouldn't stop punching Roman Reigns. Like, one of guys wouldn't get out of the ring. So they DQ'd him. Then afterwards, Roman Reigns got out of a magic killer, which no one's ever gotten out before, and then went and fetched a chair, and the tag champions ran away because they were so scared of one guy with a chair.
Well, listen. I know what happened here, and it's understandable. Roman Reigns he uses On It, which you all can go and use at Fightful.com. Click that little tab, that On It tab. You can use that Alpha Brain. Maybe you work 60 hours a week like me. You need some energy. You take Shroom Tech. That's what I take. You take Alpha Brain. It keeps you going for podcasts like this. Even if you've done one every day for I don't remember the last time I didn't do a podcast. Probably San Antonio. Maybe your sleep cycle's a little screwed up. Mine sure is. That's why I take that new mood. Make sure I get a full night's sleep. And then when I'm good and recovered, I use those awesome kettlebells. I wear those sweet On It t-shirts, and I do it by clicking that On It link over at Fightful.com. What I think he should do is maybe never clothesline anybody again, because those are really pissing me off the more I watch them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kofi Kingston defeated Bo Dallas. So New Day came out. I liked them tonight. I'm sure you didn't because you hated everything.
God, that was so bad.
What? I liked it.
Listen, no, here's the thing. They brought out a manila folder that says ice cream blueprints on it. And we're just supposed to trust there's ice cream blueprints in there.
What leads you to believe there aren't?
I don't trust anything anymore.
Why is this a guilty until proven innocent situation for you, Alex? It's ice cream.
I've been burned in the past by too many people. I don't trust anything unless I see it sourced and verified. So listen, can we talk about how Bo Dallas is out here for the first time in months on Raw in a ring, and he's got this awesome beard? We can't
talk about that. That's pointless. Why the fuck would we talk about that?
And his brother just became champion of SmackDown and might need a new guy to run with him since Luke Harper doesn't like him anymore and Randy Orton's coming back. And Randy Orton, excuse me. Randy Orton is coming at him for his title. And they just effectively wrote off Bo Dallas by having him lose in this fashion. And then as he was unconscious in the ring, they force-fed him bootios.
Yeah, they $1 million manned him for sure.
They did because they're baby faces, and that's what baby faces do.
It was hilarious.
Okay.
It was. A couple of things. Hold on. Just want to say a couple things. I like the subtle little comments and jokes between New Day to each other, like Big E burying Kofi's jokes by saying, You shouldn't have told that. That was a terrible joke. I told you backstage. There was a turdy production spot that missed the beginning of the match. Good job, guys. And my first thought was, remember when Bo Dallas got that super weird push for like a month and a half and then was taken off TV?
Yeah.
You got to make sure that Ben Wong debut is good and over in China.
He's still coming down to the ring. Apparently, we didn't see it, but he's coming down to the ring with that stupid election sign in February. So, we know that only Bo believes in Bo. My thing is, if this is a way, because what happened when Jack Swagger jumped ship? He lost somehow to Jinder Mahal, and then he just left.
Fun fact about Jack Swagger: he was the only member of the SmackDown roster, active, not injured, who was not on Elimination Chamber.
Right, and yes, he's technically active and not injured, but he still hasn't been on TV since October. So,
he's been on TV since then, hasn't he?
Really? Because he lost at No Mercy to Baron Corbin, got crushed. I don't remember seeing him since then. If he has, he's not been in a storyline. He hasn't been involved in any actual feuds or whatever since then. Maybe he's had a one-off match, but
I like that Kofi Kingston won with the SOS too.
Yeah, that's something new for him. That's cool. I will never stop hoping for a Bo Dallas Bray Wyatt reunion, and this is the perfect opportunity to do it. And maybe I'm being thrown off by the beard, but I'll always keep hoping for this.
Yeah, you're right. He hasn't been on TV since like October.
So is he active? Is he technically active? I mean, maybe.
No, he wrestled a month ago. He might have been hurt, so he might be hurt. He hasn't wrestled for a month. So maybe he wasn't active. I don't know. I get the house show reports every damn day, and we do a weekly recap, and it shows you about where he is that I had no idea. But I was glad that Bo Dallas also stopped and posed after two counts. That's weird. That's stupid psychology.
Yeah, it really, really is.
Under my backstage crappenings spot, I say that Neville saying TJ Perkins is almost as fun as Noam Dar saying Alicia Fox. Because Neville says Perkins with such disdain that I love it.
Yep.
Also, Jack Gallagher uses an insult that nobody knows, and subsequently nobody cares.
Yeah, he calls him a pillock, which is fun. I don't really know what that means, but it's bad. But the thing is that what I think I do like about this is they don't have Gallagher and Neville touch each other. Like there's no fight between them. There's no brawl that breaks out later in the night. I want to see these guys have a match for the very first time at Fastlane because I'm interested to see how that goes because their styles are so wildly different.
Yeah. What else we got here? Charlie Caruso and Bayley are backstage. I thought Bayley was fine here. The scripted promo is not much of my thing. Charlie Caruso keeps getting better. She's adapting and she's scripted heavily, but she's getting a lot better. Speaking of Bayley, I like the loose affiliation with Cesaro and Sheamus. You actually sent me a picture today of Sheamus beating up Bayley's snowman, which I thought was good. Yep. This led to a promo with Enzo and Cass, and for all the weird stuff with Enzo, I love that his mouth always gets him in trouble, and Cass just always lets him learn the lesson.
Yeah.
But he never learns the lesson.
Nope.
Samoa Joe had an awesome backstage sit-down interview. I love that they're doing these, Alex.
It was amazing. This is the thing. I'm watching this, and I'm like, I hope all these guys on both brands and NXT are forced to sit down and watch this segment and go, that's how you do that. That guy said nothing. He didn't say anything. He says, I'm the destroyer, and I'm here to destroy guys. That was the substance of what he said. But the way he said it, he was so natural. And there was points where he got really pissed at Michael Cole, but had to keep it inside. There was all these layers to what he was doing with it. It was great. And I'm watching it and going, this guy's so good at this, and he could have been here a decade ago doing this kind of stuff. But for some reason, we were not going to hire this guy. But I love that he's here now, better late than never. And I'm really excited to see what the next couple of years has in store for Samoa Joe, because he is great.
Listen, I don't know what got into the WWE the last 2 days with doing good at some things, like tying in reasons for people to not like each other. But the last 2 days, they have done an awesome job of it. Like, I don't know if maybe they think their audience is too stupid. I don't know what the deal is. But when Samoa Joe mentioned Sami Zayn's name, I didn't even really think about it. I didn't even pay much attention to it. And maybe I was the only one. I'm sure plenty of people saw it coming from a million miles away. But I was like, oh, that's a nice shot to make. That's a good example of somebody who's just happy to be there. I liked it. So that was really good, and we'll get back to him shortly. Teddy Long in the Hall of Fame. He is one of those guys who has never, you never heard people talk about him for the Hall of Fame, but when they announce him, you're like, yeah, why not Teddy Long?
Yep. Why not?
Is that all you got?
That's all I got. I mean, I like Teddy as much as the next guy, but it was one of those things that it was like, okay, great, Teddy Long, I'm happy for him, but it wasn't like one of those things where I'm not like, oh, finally, and I'm not like, well, that guy doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? I'm in between on him, I guess. I like Teddy. I'm glad he's in the Hall of Fame, but it's not one of those things where I'm like, Coco Beware, really? And it's not like one of those things where I
think Doom was the first team I was ever scared of as a kid. They were just these two big badasses, and Ron Simmons and Butch Reed are just two hosses, man. And that's how I remembered him. Then I remember Teddy Long as a referee in the late 90s. It's like, what's up with that? And then he went on to manage several wrestlers, but his role as SmackDown GM is one that I did not expect him to get and did not expect him to have for such a long, long time. And he did great with it. Great character, great guy. So I'm glad that he's in. Jack Gallagher defeated Noam Dar. Austin Aries is getting himself a lifetime job with his commentary work while he's injured.
He really is. He really, really is. They're saying that he's cleared to come back to the ring, and I almost don't want him to because he's that good on commentary. I hope that he does his matches, but if he's not wrestling that night, he's behind the commentary desk for the cruiserweight stuff because he's been so great at it. And I'm looking forward to him getting back in the ring, but not as much as I'm enjoying him doing his commentary work.
Yeah, it's crazy because if you remember, there was a guy, CM Punk, ended up being a fantastic commentator while he was hurt, and you thought maybe he would get a job for life out of that.
Well, no, that didn't end up working.
Well, hey,
out
you know
for
what?
him.
If he came back next week and said, I want to be a commentator, I bet they do it. So maybe he would. Gallagher's offense is very unique, and these cruiserweight matches are slowly getting a better reaction. Gallagher got the headbutt over well. I still don't know how I feel about the running dropkick, but it got the reaction, so why the hell not?
Yeah.
If you can do that instead of doing my very hated front dropkick off the top rope, so be it. Also backstage, Triple H shows up. Has to talk to Kevin Owens backstage, but not JeriKO.
Oh,
I like little commercial cliffhangers.
Yeah.
This is good.
Yeah.
And we will talk about this later.
Yeah.
Emelina's here.
Oh my God.
Now, Corey Graves, he has taken his Eva love and converted it to Emma, and I'm very happy with that, because what that gives us is "Shut Up, Saxton," which can never be said enough.
Nope. All the time.
You're hitting me with the nopes and the yeps. What's with you tonight, Alex?
I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for you to set me up for the actual thing when she comes out.
Today? How many diapers you change today?
Listen, I'm on night shift when my wife gets a chance to sleep. So yeah. So I'm alone in the wee hours of the night, and whenever there's diapers to be handled, I do it by myself. So yeah, when I get off of here, that's where I'm going, to night shift. Because that baby needs to be fed and changed every 2 hours.
So Emelina comes out. She says, "You have witnessed the makeover from Emma to Emelina, and now you will witness the makeover from Emelina to Emma." What the hell is going on?
Okay.
What is she talking about?
Okay. There are two things that I have to say about this. One, when I heard they were making her over, quote unquote, to Emelina, I was like, no. I loved evil Emma with the weird shoulder pads and the leather half gloves and the aviator sunglasses. She was a badass. I loved her. Don't take her away from me. And they're like, okay, well, I guess she's an Instagram model now. Now she comes out, and it turns out these 17 weeks of promos have all been for naught because she's not going to be Emelina. So if she ends up going back to evil Emma, that's great, because that's what I want in the end. But why did we take this crazy route to get there? At what point during all of these promos and vignettes did they go, you know what, maybe we shouldn't do this because nobody wants to see this. We should go back to the thing people do want to see. Like, where did we switch? Because this was crazy. I've never seen anything like this before. Like, you've been waiting for 17 weeks. Here I am. Psych. I'm not here, and then walk away. I don't know what this was. I don't know what this was.
I don't either. Let's take guesses. Hey guys, I need to establish what the prize is. But follow us at Fightful Wrestle. I would do this on our forums, but predict when Emma will actually wrestle on TV. When do you think she'll wrestle on TV?
March 6th, day after Fastlane.
March 6th. Yeah, I think maybe March 13th. I'm going to say March 13th.
Could be. Either way.
You know the funniest thing about this?
Please.
Zack Ryder's terrible luck. He gets hurt, and now his girlfriend goes back on the road.
Yeah.
Now that he's at home.
Yeah.
That poor guy.
This whole thing, I'm wondering, honestly, how much Emma really ever wanted to do the Instagram model gimmick. And if she was able to talk some sense into somebody during these 17 weeks and they switched it back. Like, I mean, I don't know. Because she seemed to be having a great time doing evil Emma. We're gonna make you this chick who poses for pictures.
Sure.
People love that, and then this is what she got. But yeah, she seemed to have a really great time with that promo, all 12 words of it or whatever it was.
In my notes, I wrote ha 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 ha. So that's what I thought of that. Braun Strowman defeated Mark Henry. This is like seeing new Mark Henry versus old Mark Henry, except Braun Strowman, all due respect to Mark Henry, has improved at a much quicker rate than Mark Henry did. What I liked about this, Alex, is Henry wasn't completely jobbed out.
Nope.
He was given some offense, still hoping he gets that Battle Royal win, having him at the Performance Center, whether as a motivational guy, teaching people to lift, working with the big dudes, that would be an asset. Strowman reversed a World's Strongest Slam, and while I talk trash about front drop kicks, I ain't going to complain about this front drop kick. Not from Braun Strowman and Mark Henry. That was nice, and so was the power slam afterwards. What'd you think of the little match here and Henry showing and the end with Strowman?
I liked it. I liked it a lot. They talked about how Strowman reversed the World's Strongest Slam by shifting his weight, when really what I saw was just Mark Henry unable to hold up a guy his own size. I personally, I would have rather seen Strowman be the first guy to kick out of a World's Strongest Slam in forever. I don't know if anybody ever has, but I can't remember anybody ever doing it. That would have been something more to me, is him using his tremendous strength to do that, and then coming back and winning that way. But I did love that Henry got in some offense, that it affected Strowman. A guy that size did pack a punch. I like the one thing I do hate is when refs do the thing of, hey, back off him in the corner, obviously then going to get the guy who they backed off punched in the face over their shoulder. That's just a thing that happens so often that refs should be taught not to do it. You know what I mean? If this was a real thing, but in kayfabe it just happens all the time. It's one of those cheap moves that I don't like seeing. I think it's lazy. But I loved Braun Strowman, getting the strong win. Loved Roman Reigns coming out after the match, and like even if this is all building to Strowman eventually getting fed to Reigns entirely, I like that they're making Strowman continue to look strong every time he comes up against Roman. Roman gets his shit in, but Strowman gets the better of him every time, and that's the way it should be.
Yeah, he knocked Reigns' dick in the dirt tonight.
Yeah.
Like, he just, like, dismissively off that apron was like, bitch, knocked him off. Then Reigns got his little stuff in, but then got power slammed. I think Reigns cannot get the upper hand on Strowman. I don't think there's anything wrong with him not until this Undertaker thing happens. If like I said, if this facilitates a Roman Reigns heel turn and he is the dominant, if he is the new Goldberg, like, heel, I'm all for it. But if this is them trying to force a guy over, a guy who is naturally getting over, big problem there. Problem there. That's why you're going to be mired in mediocrity, and you're going to create another 2011 situation. The WWE I don't think they really facilitated the people that they have over necessarily. Like, they have such an overpowering roster, like talent-filled roster, that some of these guys are just over. Otherwise, I mean, if they had any sense, then I think Reigns, Rollins, and Ambrose would be the three top guys. You'd be looking at a new age of, like, that trifecta of stars that they had in the late 90s, early 2000s, and they don't have that.
Yeah.
They just don't have that. Guys, if you like podcasts like this, subscribe to us, YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher. On Monday, we cover Monday Night Raw, obviously, with Alex. Tuesday, with Jeff Hawkins of Shake Them Ropes. Wednesday afternoons, I'm with Fightful.com owner Jimmy Van. If you all ever wondered what goes into running Fightful.com, we talk about a lot of that stuff. No holds barred on that show. Thursday, early access for members only. Register for free at Fightful.com. I've talked to Matt Riddle, who does not give a damn about upsetting anybody. We talk about he just got a match booked against Dan Severn. Dan Severn for WrestleMania weekend. We're going to talk about that and about his promo where he said, and I quote, "Triple H can't keep my name out of his fucking mouth." End quote. Friday, I am with Shane Helms. We'll talk about everything. Well, this week's topic is the process of running a wrestling show. Some of you might not know this. He runs Omega now, and they did thousands at one of their shows late last year. So we talk about that. Early access by registering at Fightful.com. Of course, over on the MMA side, we have daily podcasts from Showdown Joe, also post pay-per-view shows. We did post UFC 208 this weekend, a very controversial show. And he talks to people like Elias Theodorou of the UFC. We had Frank Trigg on last week. We've had UFC veteran Sean Pearson on. All kinds of good names over there on the MMA side. MMA podcasting is still very much in its infancy, so go check that out. We're kind of ahead of the curve there. Register, leave us good reviews on iTunes and Stitcher. Sami Zayn versus Rusev, Alex. Rusev was wearing a face mask. In my notes, I said that these two work pretty well together. Zayn seemed very over in Vegas, and Zayn got the win out of nowhere to a pretty good reaction. I thought this match went a little long, but the crowd popped big for that finish. And usually, we talk a lot about Rusev and how far he's fallen. I didn't really have a problem with that here. The dude's wearing a face mask, and he gets kicked in the face.
Yeah.
So, hey, I didn't have a problem with it. What did you think of the match?
I'm totally fine with this trend that's happened for, I think, 3 straight, maybe 4 straight weeks, where the best match on a Monday night is wrestled by Sami Zayn. You know, really the only real wrestling match of that's of the singles male variety is always Sami Zayn versus his thing with Seth Rollins a few weeks ago was great. His one with Chris JeriKO last week was great. Like, this guy really turns in great. So they're letting him be the worker on Monday nights, which is really great. And I loved Rusev in this match. I thought that all the stuff that they worked around with his face shield from his broken nose that he suffered in the feud-ending match with Enzo and Cass was really good. I loved his kicks to the back of the head. That one kick off the apron was sick. Loved that.
Rusev's or Sammy's?
Oh no, Rusev to kick Sami off the apron.
That was beautiful.
Badass. I loved the Helluva kick out of nowhere. I thought that was a really cool way of delivering it, because you always the Helluva kick never comes out of nowhere, because it's always the Exploder Super X into the corner and then we wait for it. But I loved it when it's a weapon that can be pulled out of thin air. That's my thing. I love that. And then, totally unexpectedly, we're getting a Sami Zayn versus Samoa Joe match at some point.
Oh yeah, man!
And I'm excited about that shit. Have you heard that there's the venue for Fastlane put out a little video saying what was going to be on the card? And one of the things on there was at this point, unconfirmed Sami Zayn versus Chris JeriKO match. But we're not getting that anymore, it doesn't look like. It looks like we're getting the Samoa Joe versus Sami Zayn match at Fastlane, which should be great.
Yeah, card subject to change. Sami Zayn calls out Samoa Joe in a really good post-fight promo. It just takes that little seed. It just takes somebody being disrespected a little bit like that to give you a reason for a match.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't got to go through a big backstage thing where somebody steals your KFC, Georgia Golden Chicken, whatever the hell it is. You just do a little thing. Say, I'm not a bitch like Sami Zayn is. Okay, well, Sami Zayn wants to kick your ass now. And Sami Zayn doesn't care who you are. That's always been his character. Sami Zayn does not care how big you are. He didn't back down from Braun Strowman. He's not backing down from Samoa Joe. He knows the odds aren't in his favor, but he doesn't really give a damn. Joe attacked here. It was a good sneak attack. He said, put some respect on my name. It popped me, but yeah. This was good.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm so down for what they're doing. Because I thought when Seth Rollins went down, I was like, what are they going to do with Joe for the month leading up to WrestleMania? He's got nobody to work, because Roman Reigns is working Braun Strowman. Now we got somebody else. Who's that going to be? And it's going to be Sami Zayn, and that's going to be great. They had some good stuff that they did right before Sami left NXT. They had some good matches against each other. This should be even better on a bigger stage. I'm really looking forward to it.
Just a reminder, guys, we're answering questions on Tuesdays now. These Monday Night Raw shows, they're 3 hours long. Usually, and we try to go about an hour on these podcasts. We have a little bit more time on Tuesdays to answer questions. Check out our Elimination Chamber show from last night as well. It is up on YouTube, iTunes, and Stitcher, as well as direct download on the site. Akira Tozawa defeated Arya Daivari. I think Tozawa's going to get himself over. He's already started to a little bit. The screaming is really infectious. And the bridging German suplex is nice. I hate the suicide headbutt, but yeah, and I think Brian Kendrick did a good job advancing his character during this match. But that snap German suplex, awesome. And the screaming with every strike.
Yep.
I love it, Alex.
Yeah. No, he found a way to get himself over with this crowd, which is just to grunt really loud, and they love doing it with him. And I love doing it at home. So that's great.
Do you?
Sure. Ha, 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 ha. That's great. How do you not like doing that? It's fun. I got to make sure that I'm far enough away from my baby while she's taking a nap, that I don't wake her up. But something I like to do during my day is just say ha really loud. But I'm going to differ with you with the suicide headbutt. I love the suicide headbutt because it's not a gentle diving push which is what so many other suicide dives are. That thing looks like it hurts. He's got a great momentum behind it. The absolute best in the world at doing a suicide dive is King Cuerno over on Lucha Underground.
Yeah.
But Tozawa's got to be at least top 5. So I'm fine with him doing that. And I do love the snap German suplex into the bridge. That's a great finisher for him. He's getting over pretty quick. I have no idea what they're doing with him and Brian Kendrick. That doesn't make any sense to me. Like Kendrick saying I'm his mentor. I don't know what that does, but I'm willing to write it out and see what happens.
Yeah, me too. I'm willing. I don't watch a lot of 205 Live. I'm not like pumped up for it or anything. Now, one of the things I want to approach, what happens to the cruiserweights on WrestleMania? They do like a 6-man ladder match. Like, what's up? Because I tried to put together a WrestleMania card in my head, and I got like 14, 15 matches with a lot of the SmackDown women missing and with 40 people in the Andre Battle Royal.
Yep. Yeah, the rosters are too big. You got to have multi-man matches in there. That's why this rumor of an Austin Aries versus Neville singles match for the title, cruiserweight title at Mania, to me just doesn't make a lot of sense. You got to have at least 4 guys in there.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think they'll have 6 or 7 guys. They might have 8 like they used to in some of the ladder matches.
They should. That would be great. That would be amazing. But I'm saying you got to have at least 4. It's got to be a fatal 4-way, if not more, because enough of those guys are going to be over and can do spectacular things to pop the crowd, especially off the top of a ladder or something, that you're going to want them to like get the crowd up before, another match. Hoping we get something like that. I mean, my hope is a multi-man ladder match because you get to have that beautiful purple cruiserweight belt up hanging up there, and the guys going nuts for it. There'll be some guys who will, because it's WrestleMania, and a lot of these dudes during WrestleMania last year were like wrestling in front of 200 people if they were lucky.
Yeah.
The fact they would be at WrestleMania, they would do something crazy. You know what I mean? Which I hope they don't get hurt, but it might be spectacular,
Yeah, I agree. I think that a multi-man like ladder match, because that's probably getting the ladder match this year. If I were to guess, it would. I think that's a good opportunity to get casual fans and say, these are our cruiserweights. This is what they can do.
Yeah.
Tune into 205 Live. You buy the network that you're watching this on. You can watch us every Tuesday or whenever the hell you want. Just like you can listen to our podcast whenever the hell you want on YouTube, iTunes, and Stitcher, guys. Leave us reviews. Hey, listen to that Shane Helm show. We got cool topics on there. The end of WCW. I think we talked about his Royal Rumble experiences. We talked about it way too early, like a month early. We cover a lot of individualized topics on there. Then we do mailbags. He talked about backstage fights, including Goldberg telling Chris Jericho that his mother was a goof after Chris Jericho beat him up. That's a fun one. A very fun one. We're eventually going to talk about his work as an agent. I'm doing this segment with him, probably going to be another once-a-month thing where it's called Work or Shoot, where you all just give us anything, and he'll tell you if it's a work or a shoot. Whether it be Dean Ambrose's pants or a backstage story. Because I got to tell you, Dean Ambrose's pants are a work. You can't wrestle in jeans that tight.
Nope.
It ain't possible. Ain't possible. We go on to what I consider one of the best final hours of Raw in a long time. The Festival of Friendship. There in Las Vegas, there are fireworks and dancers. That is a hot start. Chris Jericho dancing was fantastic.
Yeah.
He danced his ass off, Alex.
He did. He came out. He was a true showman. The level of production here was so great and so foreboding because we all knew where this was going to end up. And as it got more and more elaborate, it's like, oh no, it's going to be so terrible when this ends. Yeah.
So Kevin Owens comes out and he doesn't look too happy. He looks a little upset, but Chris Jericho brings him in the ring, shows off some art. And I just want to show you all a little something. This art, does any of this look familiar? From our February 6th episode of Most Ridiculous with Anna Bauert, which you can watch on Fightful.com, on our YouTube. Subscribe. If you all are watching that, I don't know why you aren't, because it's fantastic. And yeah, this was on our February 6th episode, the Ellsworth-Strowman creation.
Yep.
Coincidence, Alex?
I think not. I think that obviously the WWE creative team is lifting ideas from everyone here at Fightful. This thing from Anna, the Sami Zayn, Braun Strowman feud, that was my idea weeks before that actually happened. We have a great influence on WWE creative.
I've been told explicitly that multiple people within WWE do watch our show. Not like every show. We do like fucking 12 shows a week. But there are some semi-regular watchers of the show and readers, actually. I've been told that, too. So, yeah, that was cool. That was neat. Props to Anna. Go watch her show. What the hell are you all doing if you're not watching her show? Looks like we'll be having her on our pay-per-view programs. So Chris Jericho brings out a magician, and he sucks.
Sucks so bad.
He's terrible.
Terrible.
So Jericho does the right thing and puts him on the list.
Yep.
Jericho is so great here, Alex.
He really was. Listen, Chris Jericho in this segment delivers quite possibly the best one-segment performance that I have ever seen from a wrestler. When he's not wrestling. He's not wrestling. He's just out there being who he is. The stuff where he comes out and he's dancing with the showgirls, and then he's presenting the art to his friend Kevin, and he's putting the magician on the list. And then later he brings out Gilbert, and then he tells Kevin Owens from the bottom of his heart how much he cares about him. And it's like nothing I've ever seen from a wrestler. Like, it was true, sincere, like, just like, dude, I love you. You're my brother. And, like, how often do you ever get to see that? Like, you never see that. Even guys who were tag team partners for years, you would never see that part of it. And it was really affecting. And it made what followed even more impactful. Chris Jericho is the MVP. He is the GOAT, certainly right now, of what he does. I'm so impressed by everything he did in this segment to make it even more of a gut punch when the whole thing went off.
So he brings out Gilbert, and Kevin Owens beats his ass.
Mm-hmm.
Beats his ass. Owens is not happy. He wanted to jump Goldberg. He wanted to 2-on-1 Goldberg, and Jericho sincerely explains that it's been one of the best years of his career and how much it means to him. And you could tell Jericho really meant the things that he was saying. And it's been a hell of a run for him.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens apologizes and says he has a gift for Jericho, and it's a new list. It's a list of KO, and it has Jericho's name on it. And Owens beats the living shit out of Jericho. Alex, your reaction?
Okay, listen. I can't say enough things about how well this turned out. Like, you're giving the, like, everything is so suspenseful. Like, oh my God, like, Kevin hugs him and tells him, "I love you too, buddy." And he gives him this gift. And you don't know what's in the gift, what's in the box. Like, what's in the box? It feels like that thing, like what is in there? And he opens the box. It's like, oh, it's a list. Hey, what is my name doing on here? And you could feel the air being sucked out of that arena as everyone knew what was up. Like, it was so great. He lifts it up, and we can all see it says the list of KO on it. It was so perfectly timed and well executed. I cannot give enough superlatives to this segment and what it did. Loved it. That moment will stick with me for a very, very long time.
So now we got to talk about the long-standing ramifications this is going to have. Clearly, it looks like they're going for that for WrestleMania, and what a hot match that's going to be.
Yeah.
Here's the question, Alex. Is this for the WWE Universal title, or is it for the U.S. title? Is it for neither? Because it's not just what it seems anymore. It's not.
Right. This changes it.
it changes a lot of things.
It changes everything for me. Like,
so let's break down a few of those. There are rumors that Vince McMahon wants Goldberg Lesnar to be the top match, wants it to have the title, wants it to be as important as possible. But here's another aspect. Goldberg does running clotheslines to prone opponents, to standing opponents. That's bad news for the quality of your top.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah.
It's shitty.
Yeah.
Chris Jericho made guarantees during this, like almost sly guarantees. You will win this match.
Mm-hmm.
You will win this match. That leads me to believe maybe Chris Jericho will either get him to win the match, like somehow, but still spite him, or maybe he'll run in and smack Goldberg. You also got a Brock Lesnar guy out there who a lot of you may remember 13 years ago this month, Goldberg ran in and cost him a championship against Eddie Guerrero. That would be nice to tie that in as well.
Yeah.
But then above all that, Triple H isolates Kevin Owens backstage. Mm-hmm. Triple H is the guy who got Kevin Owens that title. The guy who's helped make sure that he retains that title.
Yeah.
And it looked like he may have helped facilitate this situation. There's a lot to unpack here.
Yeah.
What do you think's going to happen? We still got a couple weeks, though.
Yeah, no, we do. I'm really interested. They've got me interested in next week's Raw. Sometimes I'm dreading it going in, but I'm interested in what they're going to do next week. To me, it felt like I didn't expect a beatdown. I thought Owens was going to go, listen, Chris, I'm sorry, buddy, but we can't hang out anymore because my dad told me we can't. Like that's basically what it felt like. It felt like Triple H was saying, listen, I put this title on you because you're this badass and you've been ditzing around with a dude with a list. Shape up, or I can very easily take that title right off you because that's what I do. And it looked to me like that sobered up Kevin, and he realized he had to extract himself from Jericho or risk losing his title, which is really interesting to me. I wonder if we'll find out that's what happened next week, which was the impetus for the beatdown. I think that had Seth Rollins not been injured and they had to give Samoa Joe Sami Zayn, that we were going to get that Chris Jericho Sami Zayn match. And it was going to be for the U.S. title. And I think very possibly Sami Zayn might have won, so that you would have had Goldberg beat Owens and Sami beat Jericho, and both guys blame the other one for their loss for not having their backs. And then we go on to something else. But with this, all Jericho has to do is get Owens disqualified, because he's the champion. Disqualification, unless they make it a no DQ match, all he's got to do is run in and hit Owens with a code breaker, and then Owens still has the belt because it's the champion keeps it on a DQ, and then they can be for the Universal title at Mania. I'm not sure. I know what I don't want to happen is for 50-year-old Goldberg to spear Kevin Owens in the first 10 seconds of the match and walk out the champion. I don't want that. I'd like something else besides that to be the case, but that still could be the case.
It could,
but there's so many more options now than I feel like we had even at the beginning of the night. And yes, I love that. When I don't know what's going on, I like that much more than when I can pick out the finish ahead of time.
I do too. Guys, a couple of you are commenting about the quality of the video. That's like a Hangouts issue or a Wirecast issue. I'm going to work to get that fixed. I know you all miss seeing my pretty face in full 1080p quality. Hopefully that can get in order. I'll have the tech team help me figure something out on that. Cesaro defeated Enzo Amore. I think that Enzo and Cass cut like an intentionally bad promo before, but
how do you follow that? That mean, like, listen, that the JeriKO breakup needed to be at the end of an episode of Raw. Like, obviously,
well, this one it's tough. This one's tough, man.
That's the thing is that if you're gonna have, as we're gonna talk about later, Bayley go over Charlotte on the same episode as JeriKO breaks up, I don't know which one goes on last better, but
feel
you
good
have to separate. You have to separate both of those things. Like, because when you, like, all I kept feeling as we were leaving was like, how am I supposed to experience joy or any other emotion ever again after that breakup? You know what I mean? Like the poor people in the arena, what are they supposed to think of the Yahoo coming out and cutting a promo about Swiss Miss or whatever he was saying about Cesaro? Like, how do I care about this? Cesaro sent out there on a suicide mission trying to make Enzo Amore look decent and also get the crowd up, and somehow he did it because he's Cesaro. But yeah, this it was just too much to do. It was like you don't want to go on after that. But I guess we're leading towards something with Cesaro and Sheamus versus Big Cass and his little buddy.
Which I think will lead to them also getting involved with the club and New Day for WrestleMania. I think that's the way they'll go there. Enzo can lose 1,000,000 times and it'll be just as over. Watching Cesaro manhandle Enzo was kind of funny. And all that's a good thing because Cesaro kicked the living shit out of him. Mm-hmm. One with a pop-up uppercut. Like I said, glad the setup moves are being established. Cool with that. Fine segment. Cesaro and Sheamus, or Cass and Sheamus, had words after the match. That's probably your match for next week.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. How long until Enzo makes a cast me outside joke?
Well, I mean, if you're going by the way WWE pays attention to things that are in the news, I would guess somewhere mid-April, because they're usually a little far behind things, starting things that are like, oh, remember this thing that was for the only people who actually do anything like on time are the New Day, and only because they're writing their own stuff. Everyone else is way behind the times, so we'll see.
Thank you for that. I'm convinced that girl's actually a genius, by the way.
Yeah.
She's working everybody hard. she's living the gimmick, and she's working everybody all the way to the bank.
She should.
You see what she said on her return?
No, I missed the return.
He said, so obviously Dr. Phil has gone the way of Mari and Jerry Springer. He's jumped the shark. Sure, why not? But he said, you've gotten a lot of attention on the internet. Is that good or bad? She goes, both. It was good for you because I did what Oprah did for you. You were nothing before me. I was like, damn.
Oh,
that's damn.
That's almost as savage as Baron Corbin asking Billy Gunn if he mows lawns.
That was great. And then you said that he should be called Mr. Grass.
Yeah.
And Billy Gunn said, for the right price, I will.
Yeah. Oh, that was
somebody asked if Cash Me Outside girl will make a WrestleMania appearance. If Sasha Banks is a heel, why not?
Yeah, she should. Yes, absolutely.
I mean, sure. Speaking of, we had a fantastic Raw Women's Championship match. Charlotte is so good, and Bayley, compared to their first match a few months ago, that was horrible.
Uh-huh.
These girls went out and killed it. There was a good start to the match. There was this little thing that I appreciated a lot. Charlotte hits a neck breaker, but then just holds it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's such a simple move that nobody does.
Yeah.
And it's hers now.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. And it looked great.
It looked really, really good.
She had her first match 3.5 years ago.
That's amazing.
It's unbelievable. She really creamed Bayley with a moonsault. I was worried maybe Bayley hurt her shoulder or something. Like
that looked bad. She folded up like an accordion when she got hit by that moonsault. Yeah, I'm glad that both girls came out, none the worse for wear after that. I have some thoughts about the way this worked. I'm very, very happy for Bayley. Love Bayley. Think it's so great that she got to be the champion. Don't know if we look back on this episode of Raw 6 months from now, a year from now, if we'll remember it as the Raw where Bayley won her first championship, or we'll remember it as the one that had the segment where JeriKO broke up and it was one of the best segments of Raw. Like, it was, does it do a disservice to Bayley winning her first championship on this Raw where, it's going to be overshadowed?
I mean, ultimately, I'd rather have two good things on Raw than one.
No, totally, I understand, and I'm not.
These coronations are so overrated. I hate the shiny new toy mentality that a lot of people have. Like, oh, they won their first championship. And I think that to a degree, this women's championship hot potato, which a lot of people seem to have a problem with, I think it's putting that in the right direction. Right. I think that's a very good step because I enjoyed Charlotte and Sasha's like 4th or 5th title change as much as I enjoyed the first one. I thought it was awesome.
And this is why there's so much like I enjoy this, and yet while enjoying that, I can find a problem with it. Same thing as with this match. Great match. Love that Bayley won. Hate that she did it on a random Raw and not on a bigger stage. We'll really hate it if Charlotte gets a rematch at Fastlane and wins that. Because then you're just doing the same thing that you did with Sasha before. And I don't know if that I like that. I mean, I guess we were thinking that the point was we were going to have Bayley get crowned at WrestleMania. Maybe they're thinking that she's not going to be as over, so they don't want to do it there. I don't know, but it seemed like that Charlotte loses on Raw and wins at pay-per-views is going to be a thing that's going to continue. And that joke that Big E made about Charlotte eventually going to be 16-time world champion by next week.
I like it.
That they cut out of the YouTube and Hulu broadcast of it because they hated it so much because he was calling them out on their shit and they didn't like that. That's the story. Now she's going to be 5-time champ, and she's going to win it at Fastlane, and then she's going to lose it again, and the rematch to Bayley on Raw the next week, maybe, and then she'll win it again, and she'll be 6-time champ. I mean, they're trying to make a thing where, like, women's wrestlers retire much earlier now than male wrestlers. So if she wants to break her daddy's record,
many of them have retired well before Charlotte's age.
Right, that's true.
I mean, you got AJ Lee, Maurice, Caitlyn, like,
right,
they're leaving on their own.
Right. So what I'm thinking is, if they're trying to get her to break her daddy's record, they got to do it fast.
But
she might be out by the time she's 32.
But it took Rosa Mendez 10 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're not going to talk about that anymore tonight.
No.
Yeah, I'm with you. And you know what? She's good enough to pull this off.
She is.
Bayley fires up, and there was this double crossbody spot that really made me feel like this is a main event. They're cooking right now.
Mm-hmm.
They got some gas going. I hate the comeback spots, though. If you bump 5 times in 10 seconds, it negates a lot of the other bumps, in my opinion. Bayley did an awesome flying elbow drop, and there was Dana Brooke shows up, and they won't show her face for some reason, but she's got long hair.
She's got her hair down. It's always been in a ponytail. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. She rakes Bayley's eyes, and for some reason, Bayley, while her eyes are hurt, she lets go of a hold. Yep. I don't get that. But then Sasha Banks comes out with a crutch and hits Dana Brooke and then smashes Charlotte right in her tit.
Yeah. I think she was going for a different part, but she was right in the tit.
Oh, my God. Ow.
Yep.
Why, man?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Like, do you think she practiced that? Like, do you think she was backstage with pool cues? Like,
didn't look like it.
Oh my God, she got hit hard. So Charlotte lost the title and a tittle, as I tweeted on the Twitter machine. This was a damn good match, a great moment. The crowd reacted well. I saw Mike Straw on our account said that he thought that the reaction would be better. I thought the reaction was damn good.
No, it was a good reaction. It was a good reaction.
I thought the crowd was good all night, and this was awesome. I'm cool. Like, a lot of people are like, why not save it? Why not save it? Why save it? What's the point anymore? The network's $10.
Right. There's this thing, though, that it was interesting to me, is that Dana Brooke comes out. Do you know the last time she was on Raw, had a match on Raw?
Well, let me tell you, that's the only thing interesting about Dana Brooke. So tell me.
November 7th.
Damn. 3 months ago.
She's been doing stuff on house shows. She's been working occasionally on Main Event. She hasn't had a match on Raw since November 7th, according to Cage Match. So you'd be forgiven if you were watching this and were only a sporadic viewer of, or if you had watched every single Raw since mid-November, but hadn't watched in the 6 months prior, to have no idea who this was, who was coming out to help Charlotte, or why, because they haven't even mentioned that Charlotte had a protege. It was a very convenient way of getting that interference thing and schmozzing up the finish. I was hoping that Emma was going to come out and affect the match, so we have a reason for her to be there, not just come out and say 12 words and go away. It was nice to have Charlotte and Bayley have their big huggy moment. It's that you can bet when the heel turn happens that they're going to have that shot of them hugging in the ring after Bayley wins as be part of the video package they use for their one-on-one match, their grudge match. It's going to be great. I'm very happy for Bayley. It feels like they're repeating the thing where Charlotte loses on Raw but wins the pay-per-view, and I don't know how long you can keep that up.
Forever, I hope. I love it.
All right.
Man, I love it. I really do. Yeah, the last 2 hours of Raw I thought were very, very good. I thought the last hour of Raw was unbelievably good. The first hour, yeah, you're right, it sucked. But hey, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Two out of 3 ain't bad. Guys, tomorrow night we got SmackDown talking Jeff Hawkins right after the show. I think I'm doing that right after the show. It's Valentine's Day. I should probably spend time with my wife at some point. Wednesday with Jimmy Van, bringing you all the behind-the-scenes Fightful information. You all can really ask us anything. Jimmy was a full-time wrestling journalist in the late 90s, early 2000s, so he's been great to work with. Thursday, Matt Riddle broadcast. Friday, Shane Helms. We're going to go through the process of running a show. A lot of stuff that you all don't understand and that I don't understand that goes into running a show. His podcast is really an education in the wrestling business. So make sure you register at Fightful.com to get early access to that. I'm with Showdown Joe, I believe, Thursday or Friday, and then this Sunday after UFC Halifax. Fightful.com's own Elias Theodorou fights on, I think, Fox Sports 1 Sunday night for the UFC. So go check that out, guys. He's one of the top fights on that show. Him and that damn Pert Plus sponsorship. Do you use Pert Plus, Alex?
I don't. I am a bald man and don't use a lot of Pert Plus.
Probably why you have a disgusting smelling beard.
That could be. I use beard shampoo. That's not Pert Plus isn't giving me any of that.
Anything tell the people what you do, where they can follow you.
I'm working on the wrestling side of things on Fightful.com. Doing those off track with A-Train segments. We'll have one this week about Virgil's advice for James Ellsworth. So that should be fun. And then whatever else pops up along the week.
They have a lot in common. The Hog.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. They did call Virgil Big Hog back in his $1 Million Man days.
Have you heard the rumors? There are some rumors.
There are some rumors. And you can follow me at Pawlowski IV.
And that's it. That's it, guys. Follow me at Sean Ross Sapp. Go to Fightful.com. If you all don't mind, share the site, Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, all that good stuff. The more you share the site, the more cool stuff we can bring you. News, interviews, podcasts, photos, videos, everything you could possibly ask for in a wrestling or an MMA site, we've got. Live coverage as well. We've got those Discuss forums that you all love so much. If you're over there talking trash in the YouTube section, head over for the live coverage of SmackDown, for Raw, TNA, Lucha Underground, NXT, pay-per-views, UFC shows, Bellator shows, World Series of Fighting. We got it all. Fightful.com. We're out.